Hello, and welcome back to Ant's Gaming Suite. This is your host, Anthony, back with another video today. We are going to be talking about New World, a game designed by Amazon with a massive and immersive yet classic hardcore MMO with a modern twist. And as it just hit the market recently, it's only been about a week and a half since the game has, I guess, been released, and it is the talk of the town, garnering over millions of views both on Twitch and YouTube already. Anyway, heads off, thank you for the developers that have worked so hard in the past couple of weeks trying to fix up a whole bunch of issues and servers and whatnot. But anyway, in today's video, I am going to be talking about 10 things that every player should know before playing New World. But before we jump into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button for the most awesome MMO content that I'm going to be releasing in the up and coming weeks and months for New World. With that said, let's get started. Okay, so first tip number one, before you decide to play or jump into the new world of Autorun, in New World here, you do have to keep things in mind here, the roles, okay? There is no specific role, as I've mentioned previously in the other videos. It is based down to weapon mastery and attributes, okay? It is very, very important to, I guess, select it from the very beginning. However, keep in mind that you do have a level 20 cap where you can respec any weapon of your choice for free. So make sure you take this opportunity to work out what weapons you want to play, but also keep in mind that don't just follow what other people are doing. Do or use the weapon that you want to use in order to combo, right? However, keep in mind, there are certain combinations that you have to keep in mind just because attributes are based on one or two things. Whether you have, dexterity and intelligence, or strength and dexterity, which kind of, changes things up a little bit. There you go, there's 5 already. There's strength, dexterity, intelligence, focus, and constitution, all to help you output a lot more damage based on the weapon that you decide to use. However, keep in mind that with weapon mastery, it is a cap of level 20 per weapon, and you do have several unique skills that you can use and passive to improve your gameplay and do a lot of damage. For example, we have our fire staff. I'm currently at level 18 here. I have selected 3 skills here. If you don't select a 3 skill, then you do have the option of selecting a passive skill. It really comes down to what you want to do. But my tip of advice is to pick at least 2 and kind of max it out, just so that you have a better PvP or PvE output first. Not so much PvE, sorry, but more so to do with PvE. So tip number 2 here is opt-in PvP mode. The best thing that I can really love and enjoy about this game is the PvP aspect. You do have the option to switch between PvP and PvE, but you do keep in mind that you can only be able to do this when you're in a settlement camp. So what do I mean by settlement camp? Settlement camp are these little outposts across different territory, which you can go in there and select or change up whether you want PvP on or turn off. I think it is a really great feature for new players who want to learn the basics of any MMO before diving into the more, I guess, vicious world of PvP. So keep that in mind. However, for more experienced MMO players who want to be able to have more combats in terms of killing other players, you do have the extra reward of getting a 10% extra more XP boost for every task that you complete here. This gives both new and seasoned players exactly what they want or want to experience in an MMO. So the next tip here is Autorun. If you have been playing MMOs for quite some time, a lot of MMOs don't really have that Autorun feature, and this is what I really like about New World here. You do have that option, which is an amazing feature that they have implemented into the game. However, there have been a lot of issues regarding pure auto running and not being able to kick from the server, which caused a whole bunch of queue issue. But anyway, with the world being so large, and you do have to be very swift, whether you mobile cancellations to cast quicker and whatnot. Movement in this game is very important and brings it to the next level. The very first thing that you need to know in terms of movement here is that you don't have to consistently press W, which is great. New World offers you the auto run feature, which you can put your character into autopilot into whichever direction you want to do. This is pretty helpful because there is no mount option in this game, and I don't think they would ever bring that option into this game ever in the near future or long future. Okay, so move on to the next tip here, teleportation. It is so crucial in this game to teleport, but you do have to keep in mind you do have to use Azov. So that's the only downside of it. And what's the reason for Azov? So the use of Azov, which can be located on your bottom right hand corner of your inventory, is to upgrade or craft at a much higher rate, and you can obtain them through crafting or doing expeditions or dungeons. Those are the ways that you can do it. However, you cannot use as of everywhere to teleport yourself though, which is something you have to keep in mind. So first things first here. So when you look at the map here, there are settlements and different waypoints in which you can pretty much teleport to every single other destination as you choose. Also, each time you teleport, you will lose a chunk of it. In order to get it back, you will have to complete different types of missions. So moving on to the next thing here, we have focused on town missions. It is very important for you to keep in mind that it is one of the ways to also gain experience points besides doing your side quests and main missions. How do you find the town missions? Simply in every single settlement tier, whichever you're at, you can always find the town mission by simply going close to the territory planning board or the war board here. So I'll just quickly go into it and I'll give you guys a quick look. So what does it involve? It's pretty much a refresh of every 30 minutes, whether you do it or not. So if you don't do it, it's going to stay the same, I believe. But once you complete it, you will be rewarded XP, which can contribute to leveling you up at a very fast pace or very quickly. And you know, it does have a variety of things for you to keep in mind. So you know, you have to collect maybe 50 rocks or 50 wood or 50 lumber, whatever it is, and then you'll be rewarded with the quest. So we'll take a look at now some examples here. You need to collect 15 medium salmon and it will reward you 10,040 XP, followed by 50 timbers with 780, and so on and so forth. So you can have a huge variety of here, and every town is different. So you can go to one town, complete its town missions, and move to the next one and complete it, because you do have a 30-minute time frame before the next one refresh. And if there is a particular mission that you don't like or don't enjoy doing, you can always click on it, pick up the mission, and then you can cancel it. Okay, moving on to the next one. Now that we've discussed about focusing on town missions, the other most important thing for you to keep in mind before you play is stick to safe territories. One of the things that majority of New World players don't know is that there are territories marked as unsafe and safe depending on the current level you are at. So if you just started playing at the game, I would highly recommend you stick to First Light, Everfall, Monarch Buff, and Windswood. So we just quickly take a look at the map here. A good indication is under each town, Everfall for example, 1 to 25, Monarch Buff 1 to 25. However, as you progress through the missions and the main story mode, it will lead you into the next area. So please keep that in mind. However, don't try and advance too quickly in terms of, you know, jumping differently to a different territory. For example, starting from Monarch Bluffs and you're supposed to go to First Light, but then you end up going to somewhere else. Try not to do that. And then there's a whole bunch of the other things that you can do as you progress throughout your level. So once you hit 25, you have Brightwood up here, and then you have Cutler's Keys down here. And then as you move on to level 30, you have Weaver's Fen right here in the middle, and then you have Restless Shore, and then you have Great Cleave, and so on and so forth. So next tip is companies are the new guild. A lot of new players were confused whether New World had the traditional guild system or not. Well, technically the game does have a guild system, although it's known as a company, and apparently these companies can actually do a lot more than just help each other raid. In order to create a company, you need to first join one of the three factions, whether it be the Syndicate, the Marauders, or the Covenant tier. First, because factions have the ability to form companies, each companies can have a maximum players count of 1,000, which one of them working as a governor of the company, followed by the settler and whatnot. Due to the ranking, that governor can actually apply taxes on the company's territory which you earn or you have occupied. Alright, moving on to the next tip, which is very important here. Don't forget to make camps. I'm telling you right now, New World allows players to set up camps outside in the middle of nowhere. This can be extremely useful as it allows you to have a spawn point which come in handy when you die from a very fast settlement or the nearest portal. Especially if you have a PvP enable and you don't want to get taken away from where you died. So be sure to place a camp. Camps are fairly easy. You pretty much take 5 wood and 1 flintstone and you have a campfire. Okay, moving on to the next tip as well before you play. There is a housing system in New World here. While we are always at the topic of camping, New World also allows players to buy their own house in the settlement once they reach level 20. Not only will it be your very own place to decorate and rest in, it will also make you a part of the settlement community and help them make decisions regarding sieges with other settlements. You also have the ability to add trophies which give you global buffs, and you also have the ability to decorate to whatever you like. Last but definitely not the least, there are 3 armor classes in the game that are actually determined by your equipment load, or equipment loads or equip loads, or whatever you want to name it. So if the armor class is lighter, you will have a 20% damage bonus and a rolling dodge in combat. However, as you progress over the 13 kilogram mark here, you will be considered as a medium or a normal armor. You will get a 10% both CC control or crowd controlling and damage bonus, as well as a side step. However, and the last one is a heavy armor, which you are exceeding over 23 kilograms. You will have slow side step dodge, a 20% crowd controlling, and a 50% better block, which is a lot better for tank classes. This comes in handy, especially if your player or tank is trying to taunt that particular boss or take a lot of damage off you, as you are a DPS and trying to do a lot more damage. But anyway, if you guys are also concerned about whether the queue times, like every other MMOs that's ever been released here, Amazon has done an amazing job and has significantly reduced the queuing time here. At most, you'll be waiting for 30 minutes or so, or even lesser. No wait time at all. It really depends on the server. For you to find out which server is the best, you can go to New World status here. I'll leave a link in the description down below for you to check that out. With that, we have reached the end of this video. I hope this was helpful and you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like so this video can help more New World players out there. And subscribe if you want more content around this game. That's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.